Live 5 News starts now with breaking news.
Where do we go from here?
Yeah.
How do we respond from this meltdown?
Yes,
How do I get up?
Right.
How do I keep looking at heaven when hell is constantly on my brain? I need some answers.
Emotions running high in downtown Charleston after a gunman opens fire inside of Emanuel AME Church on Calhoun Street last night, killing 9 people.
And now multiple community leaders have confirmed that the Reverend at the church, Clemente Pinckney, is one of those who was killed. He's the pastor there at the church, also a state senator representing District 45.
Right now, the search for the suspect in the shooting continues. Charleston police say they are investigating the shooting now as a hate crime, and we are set to get more information from police at a news conference happening in about an hour and a half.
Yes, and that shooting happened around 9 o'clock last night. It brought up scores of law enforcement out to Calhoun Street, as you're seeing in some of these pictures.
And also, we saw plenty of displays of prayer and solidarity, as we see here, and as we also showed you in that opening segment where we showed you the pastor who was praying so fervently last night. And now we are bringing you team coverage of this developing story this morning. Our Deshaun Brown and Hannah Mosley, both downtown this morning, keeping up with the latest developments. We will start right now with Hannah.
Yeah, Kyle and Ann, you know, a lot of people are waking up this morning, they're reading the headlines, they're following the story, but you really get a sense of just how tragic it is when you come down here. A lot of tears here on Calhoun Street, a lot of heavy hearts. Now, I am standing on the corner of Meeting Street and Calhoun Street, just about half a block away from the church. Citadel Square Baptist Church is just to my right. We've got Circle K just behind me and Courtyard Marian just back behind me. Again, just about half a block away from the church. If you look up at the sky, you can actually see the steeple. You probably can't see it with the camera though because it's still pretty dark. Now, when I got here just before 3 o'clock this morning, I spoke with people who were on Calhoun Street. A lot of them had their heads bowed, and I spoke with one guy. He told me simply, who comes to church to die? And those words really ring true. A lot of people in disbelief this morning, including Charleston Police Chief.
This is the worst night of my career. This is clearly a tragedy in the city of Charleston.
Now, that was Charleston Police Chief Mullen, and he will hold a press conference at 7 o'clock at the Charleston Maritime Center, and that is where we find our Deshaun Brown, who continues the live coverage there. Deshaun, how are things looking in that area?
Well, Hannah, right now it's pretty quiet here other than other media members. Really, this has been a gathering spot for media to get some of those questions answered that so many people have been asking. We first learned about the shooting, obviously, just after 9 o'clock last night. And details from that point have really been slow to come, but it's clear why. There's been so much going on, and police and authorities have other priorities at this point. But this is where they're gathered. This is right off of Wharfside Street. It's just about a 3-minute walk from Emanuel AME on Calhoun Street, so it's really close. But as I mentioned just maybe about a half an hour ago, it really feels like two different worlds. It's much more quiet here, a little more surreal. But we are expecting to hear from Chief Greg Mullen, the Charleston Police Chief, at 7 o'clock, just about an hour and a half from now. And also Charleston Mayor Joe Riley. They have not made their way here just yet. But listen to what Chief Mullen had to say at their first press gathering a little earlier into the overnight, actually.
It is senseless, and it is unfathomable that somebody in today's society would walk into a church when people are having a prayer meeting and take their lives.
And of course, the big question for a lot of people is, why did this happen? I don't know that we'll get those answers here, but we're expecting at least police to brief us on anything that they've learned or new details that we can hopefully pass on regarding that suspect here at 7. But for now, I'll send it back to you in studio.
All right, thank you, Deshaun. And one of the things that we do know about that suspect was the description that police released overnight. And we want to show that to you again. It's very important that you take a look at this and gather any information you can from this. And if you know anything that may have happened last night, you can give police a call. But again, they described the suspect as a white man in his 20s with a slender, small build. He was seen wearing a gray sweatshirt and blue jeans. He was also described as clean shaven with sandy blonde hair. Now, they have set up a tip line if you have any information, and you're asked to call them on that tip line. The number at the top of your screen, you can see it there, 529-3750.
Now, as we told you, community leaders say among those dead is the pastor of Emanuel AME Church, Reverend Clemente Pinckney. The church's website is giving us some insight into his life and many of his accomplishments. It shows us that he is just 41 years old. He graduated magna cum laude from Allen University in Columbia. He was elected to the South Carolina House of Representatives at just 23 years old in 1996. He and his wife Jennifer have 2 children. And we are bringing you complete coverage here on the air and online at live5news.com. As this story develops, you will find new information on our website. And we are also streaming live this morning for those of you who are not able to be at your television sets, but you want to follow along. We will be right back.